Welcome back. You're still watching Business Lunch on CNBC TV 18, and let's talk about some big earnings today. Divis-Labs is in focus on the back of their third quarter numbers, and Ekta is joining in now to take us through the fine print. Ekta, this looks like quite a strong set.
Well, yes, it's been a very strong quarter in terms of what Divis has reported. But you can see that the stock hasn't moved too much. It's off the day's high after that initial bump up that we saw post the numbers, simply because it is expected to probably be a one-off opportunity this time round because of the Molnupiravir API. The conference call is at 2 p.m. to get more details in terms of what growth would look like going forward for Divis-Labs, X of the Molnupiravir API opportunity, and whether or not these margins are sustainable. So just a quick word on the numbers. The revenue has come in at growth of around 47% on a year-on-year basis. The margins are at a multi-quarter high at 44%. So it's been an expansion on a year-on-year as well as on a sequential basis in terms of margins. And the profit too has come in at around 900 odd crores. So it's up around 91%. It's been a growth on a Q-on-Q basis as well. Revenue is up around 25%. So overall, while these numbers are strong, the street was anticipating that it would be because of the supply of Molnupiravir. That's likely. That's the likely reason. And what growth looks like going forward will be the key question now.
All right, Ekta, thanks so much for all those details. And the stock in focus is Hindalco. That stock is under pressure despite reporting a good set of third quarter numbers. Earlier today, we also spoke to the management if the company would be interested in buying a stake in Hindustan Copper if the government puts it up for sale. We posed that question. Hear out the management on their interest.
We will absolutely take a look at it.
So you'll take a look at it. So Hindalco is in fact interested in Hindustan Copper asset. Is that correct?
I said we will absolutely be interested and we'll be taking a look at it.
All right, they're definitely interested then in Hindustan Copper if it is put up for divestment. But moving on and shifting focus to an important exclusive, the LIC board is to meet today to consider the IPO proposal. Yash, my colleague, joins us with all of the details. Yash, you've been tracking this one closely. Take us through what you're picking up on what we can expect from this board meet.
Well, that's correct. The all-important LIC board meeting is underway as we speak. And as far as the board is concerned, it has three important points to consider as far as today's board meeting is concerned. The first one is more of a procedural, and that is to give a go-ahead from the board's end when it comes to enabling LIC to file the DRHP and go ahead with the IPO. The other two are more important. The board is also likely to consider the discount that it wants to give to policy holders of LIC as far as this IPO is concerned. The maximum discount that can be given is 5% versus the issue price, and LIC is expected to discuss and decide how much it wants to give out of that 5%. The second one that the board would be discussing is that the quantum which is expected to be reserved for the policy holders of LIC, the maximum reservation that can be done as per SEBI's regulation is about 10%. And of course, a discussion and decision is likely on how much LIC board wants to reserve for its policy holders. These are the three important points for which the board is meeting today. One procedural, two important things. Of course, we need to keep a watch as far as what is the outcome. But here's the agenda as far as this particular board meeting is concerned.
Yash, thanks a lot for that. Absolutely. All eyes are on that board meet and we're tracking that one closely. But in another very important and closely tracked corporate development, Tata Sons' board met today to decide on the extension for Chairman N. Chandrasekaran. Nisha, you've been tracking this one. So take us through what you've picked up from your sources.
Well, it's been a long wait and it's at the fag end of N. Chandra's first term end. It's likely to now be announced very soon. So have been in the waiting for quite some time. What we gather from sources with direct knowledge is that the Tata Sons board held a meeting today. It is most likely concluded and an announcement is likely very soon. What we are expecting is that the Tata Sons board deliberated on the extension of N. Chandrasekaran for the second term as the chairman of Tata Sons. His first term ends in the third week of February this very month. Now, remember that the sources also also have been indicating that Tata Trusts on Wednesday had met. Their board had approved of N. Chandra's extension, and the nomination committee of Tata Sons may have also recommended his name. There are a few vacant positions on Tata Sons board where Tata Trust needs to nominate and also appoint new board members. That could also be something that Tata Sons board may be deliberating upon. But the big announcement of N. Chandra's second term and Tata Sons as 2.0 regime under N. Chandra is most watched out for, Pavitra.
All right, Nisha, thanks a lot for getting us all of those important details on this exclusive. But there is yet another exclusive that we have lined up for you, amidst the controversy surrounding Bharat Pay. Its CEO, Suhail Sameer, has written to the company's employees addressing some of the concerns and assuring them that the financials of the company remain strong and remain intact. Ritu Singh, my colleague, joins us with more. Ritu, what does the CEO have to say to his employees?
We've had the CEO of Bharat Pay, Suhail Sameer, addressing some of the concerns around the company in his letter to the employees, starting with the fact that there is a governance review that is underway by 3 external firms, Shardul Amarchand Mangaldas, PwC and Alvarez and Marcel, and that the company decided to do a full audit of the governance process based on some internal complaints, some of which he said are pretty standard, but there are a couple of serious allegations which are still under review. But he reiterated that there is nothing in this review that cannot be corrected going forward, and none of it will have any bearing over the medium to long term on the health of the business per se. He expects the interim report of these reviews to be submitted to the board over the next couple of weeks, and has promised to share the findings or the summary of the findings with the employees and ask them to continue trusting in the board, which he said will take the decision which is in the best interest of all stakeholders. On the financials, he reassured the employees all is well, that Jan 2022 was one of the best months for the company in terms of revenues and margins. And there is enough fuel in the tank that the company currently has 4 times the amount of money than what it has spent building Bharat Pay so far. It is working with Centrum on building the Unity Small Finance Bank as well. And even though the company is not looking to raise any capital, 2 to 3 investors are reaching out to them every other week to have conversations about investing in the firm. So an assurance of sorts coming in from Suhail Sameer to the employees amidst all of this controversy, reiterating all is well financially, and even with the review, there will be no long-term damages for the business.
Right, building that trust as well as giving that assurance, very important for the CEO in the eye of the storm. And that's Bharat Pay. Thanks, Ritu, for that. And with that, we'll slip into a short breather on Business Lunch. More news and updates on the other side. Don't go anywhere.